Fear of failure. The next fear I want to share with you is that I'm afraid this book will be a failure. I'm not worried about the information being valuable. I've personally seen the ideas covered in this book in action, and they work. What I'm afraid of is that I won't be able to convey the information well. I worry I'm not qualified enough to write this book. After all, I've never written a book before, nor do I have a degree in writing. What makes me think I can do this? I'm not motivated enough to get a master's degree in writing in order to write one book. My goal is not to make a career as a professional writer. My goal is to change education, and creating this book is one piece of that larger puzzle. I have to accept that while I would do a better job if I did have more experience as a writer, that doesn't mean this book will be a failure. There is a large space in between the absolutes of success and failure. I also worry that the book will fail because the content won't feel relatable. Since most teens have never seen any of the ideas in this book in real life, how will they ever believe this stuff is real and accessible to them if they haven't seen it for themselves? To address this, I'll include quotes directly from teens already practicing the methods described in this book in an attempt to make this subject matter more tangible and real to you. For those who need more convincing, I'll also share with you about how you can contact some of these young people so you can hear from them directly. I want to be clear that this is not a book about hypotheticals or theories or abstractions. It's about real things being done by real people in the world today. This is not a work of fiction. While my ego would prefer to suggest that all the ideas contained in this book are my own bright ideas, very little of what I'm sharing here is original thought. People have been writing and speaking about alternative education for decades. I owe a great deal of appreciation and thanks to these courageous trailblazers who really paved the way for me to speak my mind by being open with their own ideas in the radical alternative education movement. These include, but are not limited to, Akilah Richards, Blake Bowles, Gina Riley, Grace Llewellyn, John Taylor Gatto, Ken Danford, and Peter Gray. A special statement of gratitude is in order for Grace Llewellyn and Blake Bowles, who have courageously focused on writing directly for teens. In the words of Isaac Newton, "If I have seen further than others, it is only by standing on the shoulders of giants." Reference 36. What a clever maneuver for me to humbly give credit to others for their contributions, while simultaneously comparing myself to one of the greatest physicists who ever lived. While I have taken measures to reduce the chances this book will fail, that is not quite the same as facing my fear of failure. Truly overcoming this fear means accepting that failure is an inevitable part of taking risks. I've taken a lot of risks and failed many times before, yet I'm still standing. It sucks to fail. I assure you that it is not a pleasant experience. I've failed with websites that I've launched without getting any users, businesses I've started that failed to earn money, stand-up comedy performances I've performed that nobody laughed at. The list goes on. Repeated, devastating failures have certainly hurt, but they haven't killed me. I've learned a lot, and I go into every new project with the collective wisdom I've gained from all these failures, which increases the probability that my next project will succeed. And that way, my failures are not worthless or a waste. Instead, they are an invaluable asset.